I've been having some trouble recently, and I thought I'd give you an insight into what I've been doing to try and get myself in the best position to make sure that it hasn't happened again. And no, not been in trouble with the teachers, not been in trouble with any law. I'm a law-abiding citizen, as you all know. However, I have been having some trouble with my back. So many of you may know I actually have a disc issue in the base of my spine, and it's one of the reasons that I go to see one of our chiropractors here, Dr. Jeffrey or Dr. Antonio, every single week. And I try and get myself adjusted to keep in the best shape possible, which allows me to keep fit, keep active. I love running. I come from a background of cycling and triathlon, and more recently, the last few years, I've got into a lot more CrossFit. So for those of you who don't know, CrossFit is a type of fitness where you're in a class-based activity in a gym. We've got down the roads. A shout out to New Wave CrossFit. They're amazing. You should look up Fraser there. He's great. And you do a wide variety of things. And I think that's the thing I like, is that it's organized, it's structured. You go in, you'll be either doing some cardio based activities, so on like a rower or running or on a ski machine, mixed in with some weightlifting or some functional training to help build your strength. So that's what I love about it. It's always different. It's done for you. Just got to get up, get in there and go for it. But obviously it does present some challenges in that you need to keep yourself active, strong, otherwise you can be at risk of injury. So let me take you back to the start of when my back injury first started. It was when I was at Bristol University. So back in 2008, I was doing some training in the morning with a friend and I hadn't warmed up properly. And we were doing some lifting and I was doing a deadlift, and what happened is I felt my back go, but I carried on going. I'd never had back pain before. And I carried on training, and I remember it so vividly. It was in the summer when we were revising for exams because I hadn't done any work through the rest of the year. So I had to work super hard when it came down to those last 3 months. So from kind of after Easter, so March, April, May, I was just cramming the whole time, trying to get as much in as I could. It's my first degree. And yeah, I remember just sitting there the whole day in the library, just my back in absolute agony, and it seized up until the next morning. I literally could not get out of bed. So I remember just being in bed, sitting there, like lying there in agony, really struggling to get up. And at this point, I didn't really know much about chiropractic. I knew about the body, muscles, biomechanics, because that was my degree. I was studying human musculoskeletal science at Bristol. So I really struggled to actually get myself in a good position and an understanding of what's going on. And it really humbles me when this happens to me now, when I do know loads about my body and loads about my back, and yet I just feel super helpless and not be able to actually, get myself in the best position. So what I did is, I called the GP, as most people do, and they gave me some, it was Valium, so at the time, like a diazepam, and it helped relax the muscles. But what I did find is that I just couldn't concentrate. So I was in the middle of revising for the exams. I just couldn't concentrate for love nor money, which isn't ideal when you've got third year exams coming up and I had to cram all these 3 years of work into 3 months. So yeah, that wasn't great. And so I couldn't take them, but I just kept myself moving. I looked up, I researched as much as I could, and I managed to get the back spasm down to an absolute minimum, whereby after about 3 days, it wasn't giving me too much discomfort, but I still had to sit properly. I had a brace on and I was trying to do some exercises. So I thought nothing of it. And then obviously I explored more about chiropractic and I had an understanding of what chiropractic was. And that's when I enrolled in chiropractic college, because I wanted to find out more about how I could help people. And I love biomechanics, I love biology. So fast forward a few more years, and it hadn't happened for about probably 7 years when I was training for an Ironman. So I finished my Ironman back in the summer of 2017 and thought there's absolutely no way I'm ever doing anything like that again. No, I'm just kidding. I did want to do something like that again, but I was more trying to get back into some sort of other fitness, so more gym routine. That's when I really started, get back into CrossFit. And I was finding that I was getting a lot of neck pain, I was getting a lot of like back issues, and then I had another back spasm. And I remember just the whole day gradually just getting more and more hunched over, more and more like in a flexed position. And I was treating patients and they were like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I've spasmed my back." And I don't think it's the best advert for a chiropractor to have a bad back, because, you talk about practice what you preach. And I'm pretty good with my core stability, my core exercises. But when you have something there with a disc issue, if you're not spot on it and you're not true to your word every single day, you can get caught out. And it's not just being on it every day. Like if I'm pretty active and I'm doing things and I'm active on it, I'm waking up in the morning doing some stretches, waking up in the evening doing some stretches, and warming up properly, warming down properly, I'm absolutely fine. I won't feel it. But the issue comes when I'm flat out busy. So for example, it's just happened really recently. This is what I want to get to you guys about, talk to you about. It's happened really recently in that I've been really busy. We've got, my wife is expecting a baby in February, and we're flat out. We're trying to move house, we're trying to get ready for the baby, and obviously things in the clinic have been super manic, so we've been supercharged and everything. Life is busy, and it's good to be busy, but there's loads going on in the clinic, and it's obviously trying to operate with new regulations and guidelines and keep all of my clients safe, keep the whole of the team safe and their families safe. It's really important that we keep on top of it. So it's been busy, and things have to give, and one of those things is looking after, like, number one, right? We always say to clients coming in, look after yourself. And they're like, oh, I've got loads of stuff going on. And, I'm guilty of that, whereby you don't put yourself first. And so the last sort of 3 months, I had neglected doing Pilates. I used to do Pilates at New Wave, and it was great. It kept me in the best position. I always felt like I was walking on air afterwards for days. And it just really helped with any CrossFit, any mobility, lifting, bending. Like, chiropractic is a reasonably physical activity. You're moving people around, you're trying to leverage them, trying to get them in the best position to perform the adjustments and get them moving well. But obviously it does take a toll on your body, so it's really important to be looking after yourself. And I had an incident where I'd been away on a weekend, hadn't really slept on a proper bed, and it was a stag weekend, and it was great fun, but not really slept very well, and went into CrossFit on the Monday morning, picked up the weight, and I immediately felt my back just go. I thought, oh God, done it, okay. And gradually the day went on, and I'm bent over, and people are asking me, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I knew exactly what I'd done. I'd spasmed one of the ligaments around the SI joints because I had some instability, and I need to look after that instability. So what did I do? I iced it immediately. So I iced it for 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, straight away for the whole day. You can never do enough of that. Super important to get the ice on there. I immediately got some ginger, so I use a ginger tincture. So ginger brings down the inflammation in the body. You can use ibuprofen, but often ibuprofen can cause gut issues. So I always find that a natural anti-inflammatory like ginger is really effective. Took a load of omega-3 tablets as well. So omega-3 is a really lovely anti-inflammatory also. And I just kept myself moving. So I tried not to sit down at all, because when I found I sat down, I get really stiff back, and then getting up was really sore. And I knew that it was going to get worse as the day went on, until, in the evening I was going to have some problems moving around. So I tried to keep my body just as mobile as possible. I was doing loads of stretches. So I was doing a child's pose stretch, moving my hips around to try and get some more blood, oxygen into those muscles around the base of my spine. I was doing some very semi squats just to try and open up my hips to give some more stability. And I was doing some lying on my back, bringing my knees close to my chest, just rocking gently from side to side. So really, really gentle stuff. That's also a great exercise that I use in the morning as well to try and get out of bed if I'm in a back spasm. And then I took myself off home, and I went to bed. So I had some food and went to bed, but carried on icing. And in the morning I knew I'd be stiff, but I wasn't as stiff as I originally thought. So I got myself moving, got myself up, and I did the same routine again, did my child's pose, did some more stretching through the glutes, through the hips, some semi squats, and then lying on my back. Keep on icing throughout the day and keep taking my supplements. And this went on for about 3 days, and it gradually got better day after day after day. And the mistake that I made was on day 4, I felt I was absolutely fine. So I thought, this is all right. I've dodged a bullet here. I'm going to go back to CrossFit. And I went back into CrossFit, and I felt my back, but I didn't. I just thought, it's a bit of a stiff back. I've been lifting some weights, it's stiff. And I took it easy, and then it was fine. And I went the next day, I think, or maybe the Monday, and the Tuesday, and I just felt my back went again. And I thought, this is crazy. What am I doing? Like, why am I pushing myself so much? And I thought, I've just got to take some time off. So I took some time off, took a week off, took it super easy. I found that after about a week, I thought I can do some quick running, a bit of cycling and some jogging. So I took the jogging really gentle, loads of stretching afterwards for at least 15 minutes, keeping my water intake high and do some very gentle icing. And gradually over the past couple of weeks, I've been able to get back into some light CrossFit. So I actually found that because I was so run down, I wasn't looking after my body, or my body was very inflamed. So we call it, you sometimes get adrenal stress, which we can test for in the clinic using muscle testing, whereby the adrenals are a hormone gland that sit on top of your kidneys. And very often they will flare up in the sacroiliac joints. So those are the two joints either side of the base of the spine. They're the knobbly bits, the gristly bits you feel at the base of your back. And that can come from when you're just flat out. You haven't had a rest, you're not sleeping well, you're not eating properly. I found I was drinking way too much caffeine, and caffeine is an inflammatory anyway. So I've cut out the caffeine, try not to drink as much, well, I've cut out coffee. I'm still having the odd tea, I have to be honest there. But yeah, limiting the amount of caffeine. Really going back to eating like green fruits and vegetables, trying to limit as much red meat, keep my body as alkaline as possible. So I don't want to have too many acidic things, for example, like red meats, red wines, salty things, all make my blood very acidic. So trying to bring that natural inflammation down the body. And so far so good. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that there's going to be points in everyone's life whereby you do have these things or these events where, big life events where you may move house, you may change job, you may have a stressful event happen in the family, and you're going to go off track with your priorities. And it's really important to recognize exactly where you are, exactly what is happening quickly, so that you can not allow it to develop into something more serious and more sinister, and make sure you can put a stop to it immediately. I can only speak for myself. I'm sure many of you guys listening out there have got loads of stuff going on that's way bigger than this, and you are really struggling to prioritize things and make time for certain things. So if I can help in any way, if you need any help with any exercises or routines or things that we can adjust, maybe at your work setup or at home, or give you some advice and tips on how to stay mobile, flexible, then please let me know. Yeah, you can grab me if you reply to the email that we'll send this out on. Email address is info@westchiropractic.co.uk. You can grab us on social. So we've got Instagram, West Chiropractic by Fleet. Facebook is West Chiropractic by Fleet as well. And then feel free to reach out on a phone call. So 01932 35529. So you want to grab me on there, that's absolutely great as well. Thanks so much for listening. I'll catch you guys soon.